All right, ladies and germs, it is November the 20th, 2025, and this is Time to Thrive. I'm so sad that I found that rhyme so late in the year, you know? 2025, Time to Thrive. Anyway, I'm just a nerd. Okay, so today is all about understanding your business, getting you guys coached and ready to rock and roll. No problem, Cap. And today is a very near and dear topic to my heart. And for many of us business owners, it is, how do I want to put this? It's the magic thing that we keep trying to find, right? And yet we get challenged in finding it. So I know that sounds kind of vague right now, but this particular time to thrive, we're going to talk in our level up lessons about profitability, but specifically when it comes to cash flow, right? We're going to talk about this particular concept. And it is incredible how many ways that us local small business owners, us course creators and coaches lose cash in the cash flow process. And it's really this today's particular session is going to talk about all sorts of things, including what I love to call the profit vampires, because there are profit vampires, and they're in your business, Phil. They're coming for your profit, buddy. Okay, so without further ado, let us dive into the PowerPoint and get rocking and rolling. So, good morning, everybody. We give our replay watchers a wave. Hello, y'all. We can say hello to everybody. I am going to get the slideshow going, and I've got my proper tabs working on my computer today, so we are going to have a good time with that. All right, here we go. Do. Perfecto. Can you guys all see my screen? Show a thumbs up. You can all see my screen. Oh, look at that. It still says profit audit. Oh my goodness, I gotta change that one. Okay, so this is technically session number 9, my friends. Session number 9, which is cash flow and profitability. So that is the one we're going to talk about today. Today's agenda, of course, is that we're going to get nice and focused with our beautiful little poem. We'll do our checkpoints and check-ins process, our roundtable, and then hot seat coaching. Dive into the level up lessons, which I'm excited about today, and then wrap things up with a couple of fun announcements in conjunction with how to get access to the new AI tool, which I want to say thank you so much to Michelle, who can't make it today, but Michelle, Kat, and Andrew, who will be here later, for abusing that tool a little bit for a day or two to test it. So let's give Darinka a round of applause. So thank you much, Darinka, for being a guinea pig for me and testing the tool. So Darinka, if you could open up your microphone for 1 sec, just give us a couple of sentences here on how the new tool worked compared to the old one and what you thought.
First, I liked the way it asked the questions. It was more personable. It didn't seem so robotic, like you could really connect. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, I like the how much more it wanted to know and then what it turned out, like what it gave out. I love the layout. So I really like it. I'm excited to use it.
Okay, cool, great. Thank you, Darinka. Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys. So, as you know, we put a bunch of time into, well, I put a bunch of time into the sort of forging of this brand new AI agent for you guys to use for your scripts in order to improve the quality and the variety. So Kat, you'll be happy. You're going to get more than just the regular stuff. You can be excited now because your next, 400 videos that you make will have more variety now. Okay, so let's dive over to one of my favorite parts, which is this poem right here. So, if y'all have a chance to open up your microphones, we will hear your beautiful voices, and we shall read together. Everybody ready to go? By show of thumbs up. We're all ready? I'm seeing microphones open. Good, good, good. Okay, perfect. So, in 3, 2, 1. My
My
mind
mind
is a
is a
garden,
garden,
my
my
thoughts are
thoughts
the
are the
seeds,
seeds,
and
and
I
I
can
can
Grow
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 flowers.
flowers,
I
flowers,
can grow
or
or
weeds.
I
I
can
can
grow
grow
weeds.
weeds.
Absolutely. Man, oh man. I mean, I'm not going to dive too deep into this today. I don't have any sort of like like deep story that I'm going to share all of a sudden about this, except to say that, as we've talked about before, you guys, your weeds keep coming back, right? Like they don't stop. So just get really comfortable being a great gardener, as it were, right? These things are going to pop back. You are meant to deal with these weeds. You're meant to master them. You're meant to solve them. And the sooner you get comfortable that these are just the thing that you've got to handle every day on a regular basis, that the happier you're going to be in just dealing with it, right? So, um, some people get upset, some people get frustrated. I get it. Do your best to let those feelings go because those are also weeds, right? They're also part of what's going to keep you trapped is those feelings of frustration and those feelings of you know anger, guilt that you're still dealing with it. I did just finish the book War of Art, which was a Gary Glass recommendation. It's about 4 hours, you guys. If you have a chance, please get it on Audible or please get it somewhere. Invest the time. It is one heck of a book by, I believe the guy's name is Steve Pressman. He wrote Legend of Bagger Vance. So great writer, great screenwriter, really interesting guy. But he talks about the weeds. He talks about them in a slightly different way. But one of the ones he talks about over and over again because he's an artist, right? He's a writer, is the concept of um you what's the word I'm looking for here? Imposter syndrome. By a show of hands, who here has felt imposter syndrome before? Like, how can you dare doing what you do because you're not even a finished product yet? Right? Thoughts like that. Has anybody had those before? Right? Yeah, so the fact is, that is a weed. It is a perpetual one, and it is what he calls the resistance. And anyway, it's a great read, you guys. So if you want another good tool in your toolbox to help you get motivated to crush the weeds that are in your life, pull them out, get rid of them, and do it again tomorrow morning, please pick up the book War of Art by Steve Pressman. Very good stuff. Okay, so let's take 30 to 45 seconds here, my friends. Write down a weed. What's a weed that's been holding you back, Phil? What is a weed that's been grabbing at Gigi's ankles? What is something that's been taking over the garden of your brilliant brain, Darinka? What is holding you back? Write down a weed that we can pluck and get rid of. Let's talk about a weed. Okay, by show of thumbs up, who's got their weed organized? Okay, good. Good. All right, so keep that one in the back of our minds, everybody. Keep that one that we are something that we want to possibly address during the roundtable and hot seat coaching session. So let's jump over to the next spot, which is your checkpoints and check-ins document, y'all. So make sure to grab this information. Start date would be November the 2nd, end date would be November the 15th, as far as your dates are concerned. And please put down your numbers. If you printed this off like Darinka does, that's great. Darinka actually uses, I think she said to me yesterday that she uses the back of this document to track her new clients that come into the store over 2 weeks period. So that's great. Whatever little system you can come up with to help track your business rolling forward is crucial. So, please grab this document or use your notepad or whatever to take down this particular information. And I'll give you guys another minute to 2 minutes here just to make sure you've got these numbers real present or to review the numbers that you have. Okay. I'm also here if you guys have any questions regarding the document. But go ahead, take a couple minutes here and fill out the details that you need for this one. Okay, so I'll stop the share here for a second. And I'll give everybody another 30 seconds in case they need to grab any more info. Um, okay. So what we'll do, of course, is we'll find out who was able to hit their revenue goals and sales goals, et cetera, et cetera. And then most importantly, we'll get into the KPIs, the indicators as to where your business is going. I want to hear from you guys as far as what type of attraction that you're getting, what type of marketplace you're building for yourself from a Facebook and Instagram KPIs perspective, or in Gigi's case, doing some great work on TikTok too, which is awesome. So let's real quick here, by show of hands, who was able to hit their revenue goals for the last couple of weeks? Anybody able to hit the revenue goals? Okay. So we're still skirting the revenue goals. All right. We got to push for that. And today's cash flow chat will definitely make that more and more apparent, right? Remember, you got to work from a place of abundance, you guys. So make sure you're in the process of generating sales opportunities. Okay. So then from that perspective, was anybody able to hit their leads goal, right? So what was your goal that you wanted for a number of leads and how many leads did you collect? Anybody able to hit their leads goal? Gigi's nodding, so maybe not bad. You got some leads coming in. That's good. Now, in your particular case, Darinka, you may want to shift this to new customers. I know that for my business, right, for my brick and mortar company, when I was doing this particular thing, and now what I track is I don't track leads necessarily. What I do track is new customers. So, how many new customers are walking through the door, right? Our goal, for example, at Just About Pets is to get currently it's to get 10 new customers a week, right? So over the course of a week, we're generating 520 brand new clients. Over the course of a year, I should say. That's the idea for us, right? Um, but that's like what is your new customers goal? So in some cases, if your guys' business is very focused on less about lead collection and lead nurturing, like it would be in Gigi's case or Phil's case, for example, then maybe it's more about, okay, how many actual new customers am I just getting through my door, right? So different models or different businesses require to flex some of these particular metrics that you're going to track because they're more indicative of your actual results that you're looking for. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, cool. So as you're evolving with this document, feel free to manipulate it. Feel free to use it to track the things that you want to know most. That's the whole point, right? Is these are my suggestions, but they're very generic because there's lots of different business concepts that are in these groups. So you want to make sure you're getting nice and specific. Okay, so let's talk about your KPIs and your marketing side of things, the leading indicators that your business is going somewhere. So who is happy about their reach, engagement, and follows on Facebook? Who likes what they've got accomplished on Facebook in the last 2 weeks? Darinka's happy about it. Okay, all right, so good. So your reach is going up, engagement's going up. That's good. What about Instagram? Who got some good traction on Instagram over the last couple of weeks? Okay, yeah, Gigi's nodding. Okay, so good. Right. The fact is, you guys, is these are the things that are telling us, as I've said before, right, that our business from a marketing perspective is getting some traction. It's getting some results on what we want to do. It's not the only indicator. It's not the only one, right? But in the content to cash system, we're using social media content as one of our primary marketing avenues. So we track the results on that front, right? So this is why we do it. If you want to, as I said, evolve this document to include another source, like Gigi, you might want to scratch Facebook KPIs if you don't really track that so much. You're not worried about it. Maybe you put in TikTok ones, right? Or you're like, I've seen people use this type of document to track email opens, right? How many emails I sent, how many emails got opened, how many clicks did I get through my email as an indicator of there's a marketing engagement with their business. People are opening their stuff going, do I want that? Do I not want that? They're opening the next thing. Do I want that? Do I not want that? Right? And email open rates is one of the most important indicators of any business that wants to use digital marketing in any way, shape, or form. Right? Huge relationship builder. So same thing with SMS marketing, right? In Hourglass, you can look directly into your stats on any type of promotion like that and go, how many people opened the SMS that I sent? How many people opened the emails? How many people clicked? Right? Did Gigi open this email 5 times? Obviously, that was important to her, right? Maybe I need to write more emails like that. Because that's what happens. I mean, you guys have done this, right? You open an email and you're like, oh, that's interesting. I need to go back to that one, right? Who's done that before? I've done that before, right? All the time. I do it every day, right? So then you go back. And so you could see inside Hourglass, you go, okay, Phil opened this email 4 times. Obviously, he was interested in this subject. He didn't click, so maybe he's not ready, but there's something there, right? There's an indication of something there. And this is how, even with a small list, a small database, you can get some great results from that small database, right? So just so you guys know, email marketing is a big part of our 2026 marketing for TYME. It's a big part of what we're doing. So you'll see a lot more emails coming from us as we ramp up that side of things to establish a more broad foundation of how we're attracting and nurturing our own customers and leads, right? Okay, cool. Um, any questions or insights about working through this particular document? In looking at your numbers, did you discover anything? Did it reveal anything to you? Did it show you a spot where you're like, I need to improve there? Or, man, that's really working for me? Gigi's nodding. Okay. Was there a
I had
particular?
a oh sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Shanna.
I had a really great sent out a newsletter yesterday, and I um I sent it, and then I walked across like through the house and just to my outside shop, and I was like, "Oh no, I made a mistake." So I came back thinking, "Can I catch it from being sent?" And already 17 people had opened it and 10 had clicked.
Woo.
I was like, holy snappers. Oh, I guess I'll phone them and talk about that mistake then.
Okay, very
So
good.
that was good, right? And so then even this morning we've got more opens. I didn't have a lot more clicks this morning, but it was still I was at a 17% click rate, which they said normal was 2 to 5. And then my open rate was 63%, which was very good.
That's very good, Shanna. Now, are you running it through Hourglass or are you running it through something else?
No, because I didn't move my website to Hourglass.
Okay,
So
right, right, yep.
I run this one through my website as a newsletter that I produce every 2 months.
Okay,
Yeah, and I've been doing just started this year, but like people are I guess they're liking it because they're snapping on it quick when they see it.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. 63% open rate is unfathomable.
right? We'll see how it is at the end of today, but I was pretty excited. That was
There you
good.
go. What did you promise inside the subject line of that email, Shannon? What are you sending to
Nothing.
me?
I said the same thing as I always do. Here's your October, November newsletter to make you and your family emotionally awesome, or something like that. That I say
Yeah.
is the same thing every time. Like it's, yeah, yeah. And so the mistake was, I just wanted to ask you about this. If you can, I take a sec?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay. So the mistake was that I put this was for my online membership, was one of the first, the main story of this newsletter, and so. I put that full price, like I put a promotional price, I gave them a gift, blah, blah, blah. I broke it down, all the good things. But I put the full price and I didn't know. Then I thought, well, shoot, maybe I should, like, because remember we had talked about that where there is a price, but I'm flexible to the needs of my families.
Yep.
And so should I have put that in there or do I let that fly at that price?
Well, you've revealed it now, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought, okay, well, shit, I better phone them. And then I can say, let's talk about your needs and oh, blah, blah, blah. And then I can offer a better offer, what have you.
Yeah, so here's the thing. There's two different ways of looking at this, you guys, and part of this is a branding decision. Okay. So if you go, for example, to an Apple website and you're interested in buying a new Apple product, do you think you can find the price point anywhere?
No.
No, because Apple is not selling a commodity, they're selling a culture. Okay, foundationally speaking, Apple's not selling a commodity, they're selling a culture, they're selling a community, they're selling a concept, right?
Yeah.
So they don't put a price on it. If
Yeah.
you go to Samsung website or something like that, you know what you're going to see near the top?
What?
Price,
Oh, okay.
right? Because they're selling you on you get all of these features for this price.
Okay.
So at some level, you guys, in all of your businesses, and neither way is wrong, neither way is right. They're just different. They
Mm-hmm.
both work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make a decision. If you're marketing based on your price point and what people get for that price, then that needs to be a prominent, what you would call above the fold element
Mm-hmm.
of how you're offering your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we talk about base wellness, for example, with Janine and Cody's company, right? If they want to fight for market share on price point, that should be a very prominent element of their offer, right at the top of their pages,
Right.
right? We're the most effective, blah 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 blah, at this price or whatever it is, right? You get all these things for this great price point. Um, if they want to compete on the fact that they are the best and they have an inclusive concept of care, right? And you're going to get more knowledge and more variety at base wellness than you are at any other place in Burnaby and in Vancouver for holistic care, for example, then price point is not a part of their selling features,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's their comprehensive and holistic concept. Does this make
I
sense,
think.
everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people mix this up. I'm just as guilty of it as everybody else. You think people want to know the price point, you think people want to know these things, and then you're not sure what the top part of your pitch to somebody on a page or even in your conversation should actually be. Because you're not sure which one is the most prominent thing to convince somebody with,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? And part of that comes from the fact that we want to be the solution for everyone instead of the solution for a specific person,
Right.
right? So, but long-winded answer to your question is fantastic result, Shanna. So good for you. And now you've revealed the price point, so everybody kind of knows what it is. And then you can make another email or send out another message saying, "Hey, by the way, we are having a special promotion on that particular thing. It's normally this much, but you can contact me to find out what that special offer is."
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yep. No, that answers my question perfectly. And so I think in my ads for this and going forward, I know what to do. I know
Yeah.
what not to do. Because I'm not on price.
Yeah. Nor should you be.
Right. All right. Well, perfectly. Thank
Okay.
you.
Anybody else have any insights from what they discovered inside their checkpoints and check-ins document? Anything else pop out for them? Okay, good. Well, thank you, Shanna, for the share. Janine said Instagram is performing much better than Facebook. Hey, yeah, lean into what's working, Janine, right? So, the beauty and the the crappy part about social media marketing is there's ebbs and flows, right? Something's going to work for a little while, and then people move off of it. TikTok releases some new fandangled way of doing something, and suddenly all of Gigi's TikTok work goes crazy because there's a whole bunch of people that spend more time on there. And then 3 weeks later, Instagram does something different. So um, we're at the mercy of these platforms a little bit. So when you have something hot and it's working, yeah, absolutely lean into it by all means. Yeah, trust your instincts there. Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about wins and challenges. So please write down What was one big win over the last couple of weeks? And please write down what was one nasty challenge over the last couple of weeks. So please write those things down. Then we'll share the wins, and then we'll put you guys into your. Well, you know what? We might not have too big of a group today. There's only 6 of you, so maybe we'll do the coaching right here in person. So wins and challenges, my friends. Wins and challenges. I know what one of my challenges is today. I made crappy coffee this morning. It's just not as good as I normally make it. It's a challenge. Okay, and just in the comment section, you guys, as you get there, as you finish off, please write down or put into the chat section, you guys, that you're all done. Okay, thank you, Drink Up. Awesome, thank you, Gigi. Okay, thank you, Kat. Perfecto. Okay. So, as the last few of you finish up, why don't we get started here with wins? So, Darinka, how about you open up your microphone, my dear, and share with us what was a big win from the last few weeks for you?
For me, it's so I order and never fails the day after I place the order. A customer says, "Oh, could you please add?" And so I just took, because it was Remembrance Day and the shipping and this, that, and the other, you never know when they're going to ship out. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I took the chance to email the supplier and say, if it's possible, could you
Hmm.
just add to the order? Like I got up extra early and I just lucked out. They weren't anywhere near ready to ship out. They just said, oh, this is the day we're shipping out. So for me, it was the customer was super happy that I was able to add what she needed onto the most current order. So for us, that if we can make another customer super happy, that's a huge win for us. So
Love it. Very good. Yeah, yeah. Love it very much. You guys, just a quick note, Darinka and I did an interview yesterday for as part of her prize, and she was talking about her customer service thing. And do you remember the term we came up with, Darinka?
I think it started with the D.
Yeah,
So
dynamic customer service.
yes,
So
yeah.
we hear all the time, oh, I've got great customer service, or I'm this or that. And in Darinka's case, we use the term dynamic because she's just so adaptable and she's so fast. Like one of your greatest assets, you guys, as business owners, whether there's 1, 2, 6 of you or whatever there is that you could change. You could change this afternoon to adapt to what a customer needs. And so we talked a lot about being dynamic customer service people, which is, I think that's a cool term to use and help people with. So
Yeah, it was
cool.
cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Drinker. Kat, how about yourself, my dear? Before you have to bounce off, what are some wins for you for the last couple weeks?
I got 3 new customers this week. Um,
Mm.
they didn't come from videos. They came from seeds I've been planting for a while, but that's still a win. Um, and actually, one of them, I was a guy who's a marathon runner in town, and he runs around town like Buddy the Elf. It's hilarious. He does it all year long. And I reached out to him and I was like, hey, man, you do so many good things for the community. Can I give you this bottle of gel? This is what the NHL uses it for. I'm going to gift this to you for a testimonial. That's what I want in payment. And he tried it and he loved it and he ordered a bunch yesterday. So, woo.
Wow. Good
That's
for
it.
you. Good for
Yeah.
you. Well, Kat, what you're experiencing though is that did he watch videos?
I
You
don't
don't
know if he
know.
watched any of my videos, honestly, but maybe since we're connected more on Facebook now.
Correct.
But he was, it's funny because I felt very called to reach out to him for his running, and it ends up he has neuropathy and
Mhm.
his wife has lupus, and he has literally every marker, all the things that it was made for. So
Very
it's
good.
helping him with a ton of stuff. So anyway, so that was good. Yeah, so that was a good win.
Well, and
I don't like reaching out to strangers. I'm scared of strangers. So that was a
well,
win for me.
very good for you. But my point, like part of this, Kat, is that what I love about this is that you're building an environment of marketing, right? So when you put the videos out there, you guys, when you put posts out there, and then you reach out through Facebook, right, and through these things, they're going to naturally see your stuff because Facebook is now saying, oh, these are new friends. Let's
Hmm.
show them stuff. Instagram's going to say, oh, these are new friends. Let's show them things about the other person. So inevitably, that habitat, you guys heard me use this term before, like you create a marketing habitat that you're immersing your audience in. So he could have gone to your page and watched 15 videos for all you know, Kat,
Yeah, it's
right?
true. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
all of these elements convince somebody. It's almost impossible that you do one thing and that convinces somebody to actually come and do business with you. That is the tipping point,
Yeah.
but they're only at the tipping point because they've crossed this ocean to connect with you and find out more about you, right? So good stuff. Love it. Congratulations, Kat. That's awesome. Okay. Gigi, how about you? A win from the last week or 2 weeks, I should say.
Okay, so I would say, let's see, I have 5,000 followers now for my
Woohoo.
content on TikTok, which man, I have put so much. It's crazy how many hours and I've put into nurturing that. But I did, so that's a win. Like 5,000 was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I did start my Instagram. I'd started a new Instagram, Voices to Life. So that is where I'm going to nurture like that audience and not I want to save my regular Instagram for my own personal use. So that's going to be a big deal. So I think, all right, so my challenge.
Oh, we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to
Oh,
challenges in a
okay.
bit, Gigi. We'll
Oh,
just do
just
wins
win.
first.
Sorry.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so it's just like it's coming along.
Perfect. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Okay. Let's go Phil, and then we'll go Janine right afterwards. So Phil wins for the last couple weeks. Thank you, Gigi. Good stuff.
Yeah, when another a good one is moved a couple steps closer to getting a year-long consultancy in a mastermind. So it's now about getting a retainer paid this week or within 2 weeks. Um, I had a past client made a final decision to go into the army. He was lacking in self-discipline and really just not sticking with anything. So it's going to be a great move for him. He'll learn discipline there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy that he made that decision to do that. And also engaging with different people on various social media channels about what I can do and work together and just offering insights when I'm hearing somebody that just from my perspective sounds like they're going down a path that may not serve well. I just am posing questions out there and asking what if they had a different perspective, and so I'm getting a little bit of engagement there. So I believe I don't have a way of tracking it. They're checking out my profiles,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll look for that. I want to see if it's making a difference.
Love it, buddy. Very good. Good for you. Excellent. Getting yourself out there, Phil. Good for you. Janine.
Yeah, so we're focused on multiple touch points. I think it was the last meeting that we chatted about that, or 2 meetings ago. But so now, as a team, we're working on like lead magnet, Facebook, Instagram, cleaning up our website with some of those like trigger words. So it's like very searchable. And then working with our office manager to create systems around um, uh, newsletters that consistently go out for so that we can track all the clicks and the opens and everything like that. So
Love it.
yeah, there's lots going on.
Good. And using science to,
Yeah.
data to verify what you're actually doing is perfect.
We like science.
Yeah, we like science. Exactly. Okay, Shanna, how about yourself? What's a big win for the last couple of weeks?
Haha. The big win was really embracing the AI. It's something I've been just so backed off on and not understanding. So then I took that AI summit with Tony and Dean and just got like at least some bearings on it and some concept on it. As opposed to worrying that we're being replaced. We're gonna give the menial tasks to that so we can have better quality time. And man, I have been using that and it is helping me so much. Like I got some language, like, I would tell it, speak in the language of a 14-year-old, or just things that help you to really customize it to what you need. And what it's giving me is gold because it's saving me so much time. That's where I sit and lose a ton of, like, I can't even write a birthday card in under a half an hour.
Right.
So, because I have all these things to say and I'm very heartfelt and all this, great, but wow, that takes too much time. So I'm now saying, okay, I need a series of emails that say that this is the point of them. And it's like, oh, boom. And then I say, oh, make it more lively. Oh, boom. And it's, oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's humongous for me.
Love it, Shanna. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, obviously I'm a big follower of AI, so I love the fact that you're unpacking this and using it to help you find some extra space in your life and find some efficiency. Very powerful.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
Right? We got to find leverage where we can, everybody. We got to find leverage where we can. So good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Okay, perfect. So I'll give each other a round of applause. Excellent. Lots of really good stuff for the last couple of weeks. So well done. Well done. Now let's break into the challenges. So everybody pick a specific challenge that's on your list. I will change from speaker view here to gallery view so we can see people. So what is a specific challenge on your list that you would love the group to tackle today? While you're thinking about that, I'm going to switch over to my PowerPoint for a second to remind everybody how this works. So what is that specific challenge? Now remember, when we get started, okay, I will keep time today. So because there's only 6 of you, so we'll make sure we do our best to get through everybody in a timely manner. But state your challenge. Take down all the ideas that are coming out. The winning ideas are often the ones you've never thought of, okay? And then pick one idea or a combination of ideas and run with it. So we're going to add in an element near the end of the day today that's going to reference this specifically. So please make sure that you're taking down ideas. And the more succinctly you can state your challenge, the more brainstorming we can help you with. By a show of thumbs, does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So take 15 seconds here and make sure you have a really good challenge statement, right? Like I need to state the challenge in this way. So that we have that, right? The more succinctly you can state it, the more effective. What is it? There's what was the great? I think it was an American writer that said, "If I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter." Right? I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but the point being that take these few seconds now, think about your challenge. How can you state it succinctly so that we all know exactly what you need help with, and it doesn't take you 2 minutes to explain it, because that's where we lose the brainstorming time. Now, Kat, real quick, are you able to go first and still state your challenge and get going, or are you at full pickup mode now?
I'm just leaving to get in the car so I can talk real quick and listen.
Well,
Um,
we can probably do you first, so that
yeah,
that gives you
okay,
the chance
perfect.
before you go pick up your kids here while we're
Yeah, I'm on
chatting.
my way now.
Yeah.
So my husband was going on yesterday about how, oh, did you know that influencers can like do videos on all sorts of stuff and then they talk about a product and they sell thousands of it? Why aren't you doing that? That's what I got. He's like, all your videos are so salesy. And I was like, so I was trying to explain the difference between what I'm doing and what they do,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And he still doesn't get it. But I said that I'm going to be putting out more variety soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that my challenge was another, you're putting out sales again challenge. But I think I defended it pretty good.
Okay. So what's the challenge? You need more. You need a better
More,
rebuttal statement. Is that your challenge?
I think more just like different content, I think. So it's not all me. Well, with your new AI tool, that'll help. It's not the same format every time, I guess. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I guess I don't have a challenge. That was what popped up. Never mind me.
Okay. Does anybody hear the challenge inside what Kat's saying though? Because I can hear it, but does anybody else hear it? No, no ideas.
She's not self-confident enough in her videos.
Yeah, you betcha. Not the videos themselves, Shanna, but
Hmm.
in the concept.
Of sales.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Remember, Kat, we said what was a couple weeks ago. It's like you're supposed to be selling. You're in business. These people are watching, and don't forget too, guys.
That's what I
Is
told Jeremiah. I told him that.
yeah, and the fact is, if you talk to most influencers, they're broke. They're broke because they've built an audience that's there to be entertained, and then they try and monetize that audience, and they piss them off. Right? Mr. Beast is the exception to the rule, not the rule. Okay? Building a powerful personal brand that people want to watch and be sold from is the key. You don't want to be an influencer, Kat. That's not the point. You're not there to entertain people, right?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Well, it's important, you guys, as you're doing this, you're going to get this pushback. Kat's getting it right now from people around her because she's doing a lot of content. She's putting a lot out there, so people are now getting uncomfortable with who Kat's becoming. Right? We've all experienced this, haven't we? There's people around us as we grow into our new versions of ourselves. Gigi was talking about her daughter saying, I can't watch your videos. I've unfriended you. Why? Because Gigi's metamorphosizing directly in front of her, and it makes her incredibly uncomfortable to have somebody she loves, right? Her daughter loving Gigi, changing right in front of her eyes. It makes them uncomfortable.
That
And
makes
so,
sense.
yeah, there's a lot of people around you that are going to be like, why are you selling me? Because I'm in fucking business. That's what I do. Right? I'm not here to entertain you. This is the part that they're not understanding is you're not an entertainer, Cat. That's not the point of your videos. Can they be funny? Sure. Can they have humor? Sure. But they're all intended to market your product. All of them. If you want to be an entertainer, right, go get an acting degree. Right? Does that make sense, everybody? I think it's very important, Cat. So just got to stay strong, and they're gonna kick and they're gonna scream for another 6 weeks to 8 weeks until they finally realize that you've changed, and then they'll move on, right? But you're not there to entertain them. Okay, perfect, excellent. Let's go to Miss Gigi. You are next.
Hmm.
State your
Okay.
challenge.
Then. So when I mean, I kind of did my my statement for the wins was I did 5,000, I got 5,000 followers, and it took a lot of time to nurture them and work on that. And then my next thing, which I was going to say, was that my the challenge was I'm sitting here beating myself up because I didn't get more accomplished this last week. And I feel like my focus is because it's almost like I'm almost on like information overload. So then as I'm saying it, I'm going, oh my God, like just stop because you have 5,000 followers and I know not all of those are going to be like, not all of those people are my people, but my people are within that 5,000 and I'm now it's like I'm engaging, people are engaging in conversation with me on the thread about these things. And so I think that that's really, really good. And so I just need to like, so my challenge is the focus, but understanding that, you know what, like I did accomplish something good. It's going to end up being good for me and the business. And, I don't know that anybody can help me with the focus aspect of like information overload, except to just like maybe slow down a little bit. In letting myself getting overwhelmed with everything. I mean, like this is a real thing.
Mm-hmm. Anybody have any thoughts?
Yeah, a couple things that come to mind is keeping that calmness of mind. Is like James Allen has the Serenity chapter in As a Man Thinketh, and it's like calmness of mind about a jewel, beautiful jewel of wisdom, and then just writing that out and just breathing. And the exercise that comes up for focus is, and this is where I'm helping myself from saying this. This is where I need to go as well too. Either taking a candlelight and focusing on that only for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Can I get up to a minute? Can I get up to 5 minutes just focusing on that? No other thoughts come into my mind. Or a dot in the wall. Like if I pick a dot in the wall and it's obscure, but I can find it, how long can I keep my focus on that dot on the wall? Time it out. If I can build it out to 5 or 10 minutes, that'll help me develop focus, and then I could transfer that to other things and get things done. So those calmness of mind and just the focus, and then what's the guidance to take the next steps.
Thank you, Phil.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to add for Gigi?
You got so many projects and a lot of things happening. So I would prioritize. I would write that list of what's most important to you. And a good way to do that is sort of brain dump the whole list of your things and then go from the top. Take your first two. Which one's more important? Okay, that one. Okay, take that to the next one. Is that more important? Okay, next one. Okay, go down to that one. Then just get those priorities, and then it's really a one foot in front of the other. But the worst I know for me, because happens to me too, is just looking at everything at once is just like I feel like I'm doing a little bit in every area. I feel like I'm failing in every area at my lowest points. So I have to pull back from that huge picture and be like, okay, I'm doing A, and then I'm doing that kind of thing. Simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And gratitude.
And Grace.
And Grace, yeah. I'll just quickly wrap up here, Gigi, by suggesting one thing. I love to kind of on a maybe bi-monthly basis or so do a day where I sort of time audit myself, especially if I'm feeling overwhelmed, or even just a morning or an afternoon where I'll time audit myself. And what I essentially mean by that is that normally I do about every half hour or so. What did I do for the last 30 minutes? And the reason I do it is because of BYOB. Be your own boss. If I was my own boss and I was looking over my shoulder, would I be happy with what I was doing for the last 30 minutes? Like, would I be feeling like this employee is investing my dollars I'm paying them wisely? Are they acting in integrity for what they promised they were going to be doing today? Right. And so being our own boss is great because it adds all this flexibility. We talked much about that in our interview yesterday with Dorinka, for example, and Andrew. But the fact is that you have to be your own boss then. Right? Someone's got to be disciplined. And I find myself personally, when I get overwhelmed, it's often because I'm allowing myself to get distracted by things. And I
Mhm.
dedicated an hour to doing something, and I spent 25 of those minutes actually just, you know, meandering around in my mind instead of getting to task. Anyway, that's just a me personal thing, but I find doing a time audit every once in a while really does help
Mm.
me because that it gives me, as Jeannie was saying, we use science. It gives me a mathematical and empirical data on what I'm actually doing and why. Right, I actually
Mhm.
wasted 2.5 hours today doing not much of anything. Right, reading stuff that was because I felt in like I didn't feel like I could do what I wanted to do or something like that. So, anyway, just a thought. Extra tools.
Appreciate it.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Let's go to Mr. Phil. State your challenge, Mr. Phil.
Yeah, my challenge is, as I was talking with Gigi, is remaining focused, and also the idea of the tech tiger technology and getting the integrated together, and not allowing myself to get emotionally involved with what's not happening. And sometimes it just because you're making a mistake or I'm not getting it smooth, it's going to be happening better. Trusting the process and just being consistent. I get a little distracted on this project that came up rather quickly, so I have to be consistent in doing the videos and getting them out there more. I'm doing them, but not to the frequency and not getting the messaging as I keeping with the script, and or at least the script guidelining me to get those points out there more, uh, so I can reach the people who I can attract into the community, like Gigi building up. I'd love to get up to 5,000 or more people, 1,500 engaged followers, 800 engaged followers who are fully with me, and they're absolutely is going to be wonderful. But building out to 5 and 10, 15,000 who are engaged is where I look to be
So, what's
in
the
6 months
challenge, Phil?
time. The challenge is consistency and focus,
Okay.
and the technology tiger that gets in the way.
So, when we're doing these challenge things, if there's a tech tiger standing in your way, can you be specific as to what it is so we can really make sure we can help you?
Oh yeah, so
Like
for
which tech?
yeah, getting it isn't the videos part. I can even do it without the scripts. It's following the script to keep it on timely, and editing, getting some editing and that kind of thing, and then getting it posted. Putting batch videos together and getting them posted.
Interesting. So, you know what I heard is that's not tech at all. Or is that you're not sure how to post through something like Hourglass, and so therefore you don't do it.
That's I guess I'm referring to that as the technology
Okay.
fact. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for your insight.
Well, it's just clarifying, right? Like guys, like
Yeah.
there's only so far like we have to get clarity to really ensure that we can help, right? Okay, so
Mm.
does anybody have any suggestions for Phil on, let's just say, using Hourglass to bulk post or pre-schedule his videos that can go out?
I'm gonna say, Phil, I am in the same boat with you. And I know that there is, I think what I would tell myself is like, because Michael keeps asking us, what is it specifically? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. When he's asking me, like, I don't know. But if we write those, maybe we write those out and we
Hmm.
say, okay, and then like prioritize what it is that is going to help us monetize, or save us time. So, and then getting a clearer picture instead of being overwhelmed with the whole thing, saying, okay, this is what I need to learn on Hourglass
Hmm.
next. This is what I need to do next.
Hmm.
And maybe there's other people out there with the same thing and we work on it together. I don't I don't know, but we're not supposed to be in this boat all by ourselves.
No.
right? So,
So
and
we got
one other thing, Phil, that came up when you were talking about, that you had to get these videos done. And I know you, and I know that you have things that you want to share with people. And I think I would look at what's in your heart and what needs to get out to people, and look at it like you're sharing a part of you to help the greater good. And that, I think, instead of like looking at it like, well, I have to do this, but man, you get to share. You get to like have a voice.
Hmm.
And if you look at it like that, then it doesn't seem like quite so much of a chore.
Love it, Gigi. Great advice.
and also Phil, there's
Thank you.
a link where you could watch the videos that show you how to work in Hourglass.
Yeah, thank you. I am watching those. Thank you. Takes
Yeah.
me a couple
So
of times.
So here's the thing when it comes to some of these challenges, you guys, and we're gonna get to the next three in short order here, and I'm gonna push you guys along to make them fast, because we have to get to our education topic today. But I just do want to say one thing. Most of these tech problems are a 15 to 30 minute problem. That's it. You solve it once, you never have to solve it again. And I'm not kidding you guys. You spend 30 minutes, you go into Hourglass, you go into the marketing section, you go to connect my social media accounts. It walks you through a step-by-step process to connect them. And then you go, okay, I click this button. This is where I upload the video. This is where I write the stuff. This is where I click post again. And it's done. And you just, as Drinka can attest to, right? It's like walking. It looks really shocking when you only know how to crawl until you freaking walk for a day. And you're like, hang on a second, walking's not so bad. And it's actually much, much better. Right. So
Right.
it's honest to goodness, you guys, it's a 15 to 30 minute problem that just requires you to go, okay, I'm going to go solve this problem from 12 to 12:30 today. Done. It's just as Phil, you would put it, it's a decision. You decide to solve the problem and now it's solved. And it takes you
Mhm.
30 minutes to solve it. And then once you've solved it, it makes life way better for the rest of it indefinitely. When you can do one post and it goes to 4 platforms all at the same time, and you say, and I'd like this post to repeat every 63 days for the next decade, guess what? You've just got content for 10 years done.
Yeah. And
So, just
maybe,
want to put that up.
Michael, maybe that is the same way. Like, if I, I'm saying, okay, but I've got all of these different things that I want to figure out in Hourglass, but maybe that needs to be broken down. So,
Yes,
like, it doesn't have to be like an all day thing or a half a day thing. Maybe it's
you're
broken
right.
down into small sections so that I feel like there's like, I'm getting somewhere,
Yeah,
and look
your
at it like that instead of,
absolutely, G. Your advice to go, okay, what is priority number one to learn inside the software? Let's go do that.
Mhm.
Instead of going, okay, here is my 17 things that I have to learn inside Hourglass. Let's go in. It's like, no, no, no.
Mhm.
Today I want to do this. That's it. Full stop. Yeah, perfect advice. Love it.
Yay.
Okay, let's go to Darinka. Real fast, Darinka. We've got 2.5 minutes for you. Let's go.
Okay, if anyone has, so you create a post, and it goes, and then we boost it. Now, I've seen posts on Facebook where it's like an ad. So is that separate from boosting? That's my question. So a post that looks like an ad where it says on the bottom, shop now. I've never done that. I've seen it, and there's got to be a way that we can do it.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think
But
that's
So,
not from, oh, sorry, go.
no,
Yeah.
go ahead, Shanna.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's not from boosting. That's when you go in and build it from scratch and build your audience and send it out as a paid ad. I know the boosting is paid as well, but it is a little bit of a different process.
If you want, so Shanna's right. They do come from slightly different spots. Okay. But if we really, so if I get complete clarity on your question, are you just wanting to have a button on your post when you're boosting it?
I would prefer that. Everything is a learning. So yes, to a button. Should I be concerned about doing an ad or just be happy doing a boost?
So when you
But
go into boost, so boosts and ads are basically the same, right? There's no you're paying for attention on a post. A boosted post lives on your Facebook page or your Instagram page. That's where it lives. An ad that Shanna's referencing, where you go into Ads Manager and you create an ad, it does not show up on your page if somebody goes there. When somebody looks at that ad, it doesn't show up in your views for that month.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Right? So it lives inside Ads Manager. It doesn't live on your Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah, I've never
Okay.
done one, so I'd like to learn if
Yeah.
it's something I should even do.
That's
Okay.
right. Think about it in a slightly different way, in the sense that if these were signage, okay, a boosted post is a sign on the front of your building that you're paying Facebook to show people the front of your building of. Okay, so they see it's your building, it's your sign, it's on your building. Whereas an ad is like a sign along the highway. They live in two very different places.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, the button can be added to any boosted post as well. It's just an option. Instead of no button, or like things like that, you can add a learn more or something like that, or call us now button right on the boosted post as well.
And can there be a shop now button as well?
You'd have to look at what their options are. I don't remember what all their options are, but there are buttons there for sure.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good question. Okay, let's go to Janine.
Hello.
Hey.
Challenge we're working with is it sounded like a really good idea at the beginning to divide and conquer some of these tasks, and now we're realizing that with three separate people working towards different parts, bringing it all together is kind of challenging. And so if anybody else is kind of working with another person or multiple people, I would love some insight onto like how you like meet up, discuss the next steps, come up with a timeline. Because I feel like all of us are on these different timelines. And then when it comes time to, thank you, when it comes time to get the stuff done, it's kind of just like posing a problem or a delay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's pros and cons to everything, right? Like I thought it was great to have multiple people working towards some of these goals, but it's like at this point, should I just do the things myself to get it done? Or I don't know.
Yep.
That's my challenge. What do I do?
Well, I don't think anybody else here is using multiple people. I think they're all
Okay.
doing this on
Yeah.
their own, or they've hired my team as for VIP content that we're doing it for them, right? So
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
basically produce video and we do the rest.
Okay.
Now I will real quickly say, right, because I think this is one that we can solve real fast, is if you think about this from a science and physics perspective, as we stay on the science theme, you and I, Janine, if you have a wall, right, and you're trying to move it through water, it's way harder it's quite challenging, right? There's lots of resistance. It's a flat surface moving through space. Okay? If you wedge that wall, it moves way easier. There's a reason airplanes are designed the way they're designed, right? They move through space. There's a reason boats are angled at the front and not necessarily the back, right? The bow of a boat is cutting through the water, whereas the stern doesn't have to. And what I'm getting at is that even when you're all on equal playing fields, when I've built a team to do a specific task, one person has to be the front of the boat and lead it and demand things, and the two other people have to be back here to basically juxtapose the points of the triangle. And now you can have somebody driving forward momentum. Because if you're all equal, we all have equal responsibilities, we're all doing these things. You're trying to move a flat surface, right? You're basically trying to drive the boat backwards.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
And so
Okay.
one person kind of you almost need to all agree, okay, I'm going to be the one responsible. I'm going to be the heavy. I'm going to be the boot, right? I'll be the stick. We all need to get things done, and I will take the lead, and I'm going to be the one that spearheads this project, right?
Okay.
So it's not that you can't dole out the responsibilities, but I think one person is going to need to probably take the lead.
Yeah, maybe that part just isn't quite as clear as it needs to be. Okay.
Yeah, and because one person, I think it's really important that one of you, and if it's you, Janine, that's great, understands the overall content to cash concept, like what we're overall trying to achieve, right? And then you can say, okay, I don't remember the other guy's name. It's Cody, and what was his name?
Einer.
Einer. That's right. I wanted to say Einstein. I was close.
Close.
But Einer and then Cody have specific responsibilities within where you're taking them, right? And that'll
Okay.
be easier. Like any team, someone needs to lead.
Okay. I think I'll work on that then. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, you bet. Okay.
Yeah.
And last but
I
not least,
also had
yeah, go ahead.
I've had experience. So in our family business, we had 5 owners. It was me, my dad, my brother, and we had another married couple. And we were the leaders. We had 12 other full timers and 25 other part timers, right? And it's like, oh, well, if this one's away for 4 months and that one's away for 4 months, it wasn't consistent. And the lessons learned going through some things was that even if you alternate among 3 people, if it's an equal partnership, okay, for these 3 months, I've got the lead in this position. Here's what I'm accountable for, and each person has a clear accountability. Like here's a priority 1. What are my 5 steps or strategies? Priority 2 or priority person A, person B, person C, and each one has, and then you have a reporting system to each other, accountability, and say, here's where this is where we want to be. Here's where we are. And then each one fits in the thing. And then you have that deadline or that time when everything's due. And then you can rotate. You take the lead for the next 3 months. Somebody else takes the lead for the next, if you want to rotate, or you just stay in that position being that lead. But yeah, like Michael says, I fully agree, is that one person can go through the passageway at a time, and then it can open it up so everybody follows right behind it, and that just gets wider behind it, the wake of the waves type of thing.
Yeah, that's really good. Thanks, Phil.
Okay, Shanna, real quick.
Hi. No, I'm good. I am focused on something else this week and I got it. And so we'll carry on. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Shannon doesn't have a major challenge. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, let's give each other a round of applause. Well done, everybody. Way to be open and up into the possibility of dealing with those challenges. Perfect. And Kat's back. Right, Kat's back. Okay, so let's get those pens ready, you guys, because we are going to jump into a very important topic. Okay, so this one is near and dear to my heart because until I learned this, I was in such a serious amount of trouble. So we're going to talk about cash flow. Cats and dogs, we're going to talk about cash flow. All right, so right at the top of your paper or on the page, wherever you're at, right, cash flow is king or queen, whatever works for you, right? Queen's kind of cooler because they can do more stuff on the chessboard. So cash flow is queen, okay? It is the most important thing in your business. You must have money flowing in order to make sure that everything works properly. By show of thumbs up. Does that make sense to everybody? You got to have cash flowing. Yeah. If you don't have cash flowing, then ultimately you're just in a very expensive, time-consuming hobby. So this is the truth of the matter. So what is cash flow? Exactly. Cash flow, think of a bucket, okay? So cash is the money that is flowing into the bucket from your sales. All right? And this might seem, well, that's obvious, Michael, but just stick with me here because we're going to go from basic concepts into something a little more complicated. So cash flow is the inflow of money coming into your business. How much money am I generating? I'm generating $1,000 a month. I'm generating $10,000 a month. I'm generating $100,000 a month. Whatever it is, money flowing in. Okay? And cash outflow, so that's cash inflow. Cash outflow is what's leaving. Okay? Wages, rent, car payments, gasoline, hydro bills, marketing expenses, lunches, dinners, stationery, all this stuff. When we do our profitability one, we dive into more specifics. I think for some of you remember we did a profitability one where we dove into profitability and talked about some of the nuts and bolts of that. We get into more specifics. That's not what this particular exercise is for, or workshop education portion is for. But it is to say, this is all the things that go into cash flow, you guys. All of your expenses. All of them. Okay? Show a thumbs up. Does this make sense so far? Cash flowing in. Okay? And cash inflow is everything you sell. Cash outflow is everything that are costs. And of course, the whole concept here, you guys, is that as the money flows in, you've got, see me, I got 3 coins going in, I've got 2 coins going out, which means over time we keep acquiring a coin that stays in the bucket. Yeah? Okay. What is your monthly nut? Has anybody by show of hands heard this term before, your monthly nut? Okay. So put a different way, a more business acumen name is this is your break-even point. Okay, your monthly nut is the minimum amount of cash your business needs each month to survive. So this is covering all of your real non-negotiable things: rent, payroll, software, utilities, all the baseline rudimentary expenses that a business incurs, your phone, all that stuff, internet, blah, 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 blah. Knowing this number is crucial because until you hit it, you're not actually in profit. And we're going to start to talk about margins and all this stuff in just a second, because just because you brought in $10,000 in sales doesn't mean you have $10,000 to work with. And your monthly nut actually has to come from what you have left. Okay, not what you brought in. So how to and the reason I'm mentioning this, you guys, is that I want you over the course of time to calculate what your monthly nut is. All right. It's too deep to go into it in our level up lessons section here because they're only 15 or so minutes. But it is one of those things where you do need to really take the time, you guys, to understand what your break-even point is in your business. For some of you, it might not be very much, but you're still going to have phone expenses, you know, your membership with Access Pass and Content to Cash, your all these different little things that you've got, right? So very important to know what they are. And quite simply, how do you maximize your cash flow? Because cash flow is total revenue minus your total expenses. Okay, you might be saying, oh, Captain Obvious, Michael, thanks a bunch. But the fact is, right, we need to know these numbers. Right, Janine, this is science. This is science. So your goal, of course, is to continue to boost revenue while limiting expenses. And that's what the next section of today's lesson is all about. By a show of thumbs up, does these basic concepts make sense to everybody? More money in,
Yes.
less money out means you're acquiring money. Whew. Okay, we've got through that one. All right, next. Okay. Profit has 2 faces. So for some of you, this might be a new concept. For some of you, this is old hat. For those of you that is old hat, just sit and be comfortable. For those of you that this is new, get your pens ready. Profit has 2 faces. Your net profit, okay, is what your business actually keeps after your revenue minus all costs, including overhead, payroll, taxes, and expenses. Your gross profit, though, is the money left after subtracting only your cost of goods sold, but before all of your other expenses. Okay, so I've got a little thing up here. Gross profit equals, can I do it? I can't. Here we go. Gross profit, okay, is revenue minus the cost of goods sold or cost of services delivered. So let's use Dorinka's as an example here, okay? If she sells something for $100, and we're just going to use some easy numbers here, Dorinka, even though you and I both know this is not true, and it might cost her $50 to put that in her store. Is everybody with me on this? Okay, so she sells a box of dog food. Well, she had to buy the box of dog food to sell it. Everybody with me on this? Okay, so she bought the box of dog food for $50. She sold it for $100. Her gross profit would be $50. So she's got $50 left over. By a show of thumbs up, is everybody tracking me here? Cool. Then net profit, you guys, is what happens when you take that $50 and you minus all her other expenses. So her rent, her phone, her gas, her content to cash membership, all the other expenses that she might have. Okay? Whatever's, let's say this is $15, right? She would be left with $35 Also some terrible scrolling here, but $35 in net profit. Just real quick, do those numbers all make sense to everybody here? Diving into the math, but this makes sense. Okay, Kat's got a thumbs up. Phil's with me. Okay, cool. Shanna's with me. Gigi, you got this? You good? All right. So, where's my annotate buttons here? We're going to erase this little bit of a mess. Okie dokie dokie. So we have a larger example here, just basically saying annual revenue for a business is 500,000. Their cost of goods sold or cost of services delivered is 300,000. Gross profit becomes 200 grand. And what I want us to focus on here for a moment is this number. Where's my pen? There it is. 40%. The margin in this company is 40%. As you guys grow your businesses, it's crucial to look at percentages. It's the only way to extrapolate out how this is going to work, because discounting something when it's cheap might not be a big deal. But discounting something over the course of time, or reducing your margins over the course of time, which is one of the conversations I had with Shanna about not underpricing herself, okay, that problem becomes exponentially worse over time. And we'll explain why in a minute. But you want to know what your gross margin percentage is. Now, Gigi, in your particular case, or in Phil's case, you guys might not have a lot of cost of goods sold, because basically what you're selling is your time and your expertise, correct? So what I would encourage you to do is make sure that you do two things. One, put in what the costs you would incur to acquire the client, right, as part of the cost of services delivered. So if when you acquire a client, you're always going to invest $30 in sending them a binder, or you're always going to invest in, $25 taking them out for lunch or something like that, make sure those are in there as your actual cost of services delivered. Anything that you have to incur as a cost that you have to repeat for every single time you have a client should go into this number. Right? Put a slightly different way. If it's an expense when you are servicing the client, that's a cost of services delivered. If it's just an expense because your business exists, that's not. It's an expense.
Yeah, I kind of just add to that too. Is like not only that, but the cost of licensures, license access for the client, and then your own investment in the and you amortize that like a car, for example. You amortize it over a period of time, and then your number of hours that you're going to contribute. You can there's been back and forth. I've heard people say those hours are part of the cost, and then you figure out your hourly, and then that's how you figure your hourly. Basically, the number of hours versus what you're going to spend with each person.
That's right. Yep. That if you want to build a services business and eventually get from beyond solopreneurship to having other people involved in your business, you have to know what those numbers are, because the labor involved, like for example, our business is going to do $1,500 to $2,000 today in dog grooming. I'm here with you guys. I'm not grooming any dogs. I'm not washing any doggy butts today. Not what I'm doing, right? But I have to know I'm paying them X dollars per hour with their commission bonus, blah, 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 blah. That's a cost of service delivered. I don't incur a cost if they're not doing that service. They go home, right? Okay, cool. Clear as mud, right, everybody? We got this? Now, the reason this becomes so darn important is because we get into discounts and we get into margins. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about this at Saturday's workshop as well, because we're going to go through a whole process talking about why just simply discounting for your offers is a dangerous game to play. All right. Discounts, they eat directly into your profit. Profit is the name of the game, my friends, and discounts eat directly into your profit. Like Kat, if you're running promotions for your doggy business, the discounting eats away at your top line. Right? And we're going to get into how crazy this is in a second, but even small discounts can prove incredibly costly. We've got a loyalty program at the store, and when I set it up, right, and I did all the math on it, my margins were slightly off, and I had to adjust it after a little while, because that program literally cost us nearly, it was just a shade under $30,000 in profit for the year?
Are you talking about a current one or the old one?
No, current one.
Okay.
Yeah. $30,000 in profit, you guys. Not just revenue, actual profit, the thing that's left, right? It cost me 30 grand out of this number, for example, right? You've got your cost of goods, 300,000, profit, gross profit was 200 grand. Other expenses were $120,000 in this business. This is a really normal business, you guys. This is a really normal local business. And the owner now has $80,000 to take home themselves. If you suddenly gave away 4% or 5% of this $80,000 would drop by 25 grand if you had a 5% rewards program. And this 80 would become 55 instead. Would you prefer to make 80 grand or 55,000? Right? See how crazy this gets? So let's look at this, right? Dangers of discounting. Okay, at 5% in this particular business, so in the 40% margin business, if you discount 5%, you're losing 12.5% of your gross margin. 12.5%. If you discount 10% on a 40% margin company, you lose 25% of your gross margin. And here's the crazy part. How many people see a 25% off sticker on things? I see it all the time. I do it all the time. When I really want to move something in my business, 25% off. Or how about this one? Buy two, get one free. That's basically 33% off. But at 25% off, look at the amount of margin that's gone. I want this to sink in for a second. 62.5% of your margin. So if you're selling an $80 item, okay, you should be getting $32 in profit at 40% margin. Is everybody with me on this? If you discount it at 5%, you only make $28 instead. You just lost $4 per transaction. If you discount 10%, you go down to $24. You just lost $8 per transaction. And here's the kicker, 25%, you lost $12 per transaction. Now you're down to $20 per item sold. So on $100,000 in sales, this would cost you $15,000 in your profit. Right off the top. You're just giving it away. It's not, I mean, you can use it as a marketing expense. You can use it as all sorts of things, but this is why general discounting is a death sentence. Now, besides my messy scrolling around here, any questions or thoughts on this?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I follow quite a few different companies, like especially now for Black Friday. And from what I see with every single one of them, they do a percentage. Can you explain why they choose that option?
So for most of them, Dorinka, they're going to follow what we're going to talk about on Saturday. Okay. They are discounting to acquire a client. They are not done selling to you.
Okay. I get it.
Okay. So, I mean, now it depends entirely on what we're looking at. There's going to be tons of Black Friday deals on all sorts of commodities, though. And these are commodities that have to move, right? If you're in the retail business, which you are, and you have an item there that's been in your store for 6 months, which you probably have, right? It's now tying up valuable cash sitting on the shelf. Think of everything sitting on your shelf as a pile of money.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So you've put a pile of money on the shelf, and your idea is to turn that pile of money into more money. The problem is it hasn't happened in 6 months. At that point, you just need to get the money out. So even if you discount to the point where you make $0, you're still ahead because you got your money back.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Especially in a consumable business like you and I are in.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it's For people that are selling their time or their services, this might not seem like such a big deal. But when you multiply it over time, one of the big consequences is A, you just make a heck of a lot less money than you should, and you can't feel as abundant, and you can't invest as much money in your marketing and your business's growth. But B, people expect to buy from you at a discounted rate all the time. They think that the number that you're posting isn't true. I'm $150 an hour. I'm $250 an hour, and yet I continue to discount myself down to 35. Right? So, key parts to remember: margins must be maintained in order to have a thriving business, and those margins, when juxtaposed to your monthly nut, determine how much revenue you need. Right? Discounting can dramatically affect how much revenue you need to hit your goals. Does this make sense, everybody? Okay, cool. So let's clear the annotations here. Clear all drawings. All right. And we'll get out of here. So we'll go to my final slide here on this subject, and then we'll wrap things up. The profit vampires. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. This, you guys, is so scary. Because this is where a lot of us have lived before. You may be living there now. You have 3 major profit vampires in your business. These things eat away at your ability to actually grow, have a good income, and get somewhere. And they do it in such a subtle, insidious, and dangerous way. So here are the 3, okay? And these are crazy dangerous and something you need to be aware of. Interest and transaction fees. Okay, these sneaky suckers drain your revenue with every single swipe, tap, delayed payment, extra interest payment, missed payment fee, etc., etc. Whether it's your merchant processing fees, your credit cards, late payment penalties, these things chew away at your profit, right? So a lot of us have a line item in our budget at the end of the year, in our expenses, in our P&L statements that say interest and loans or interest and transaction fees. These things, think of them as directly you handing cash to somebody else for no damn reason except you can't control yourself. Okay? You got to pay things on time. Late payments, interest, it's brutal. Right? There is good debt to take. To go get a loan, to help your business grow, and to make 10% extra on that loan and pay 5% interest. That's just math that makes sense. But credit cards that are 20% or 25%, they're just brutal. And transaction fees have to be built into your sale price. People, if you're going to be paying 3.5% to 5% to Stripe to do a transaction, make sure that you add an appropriate amount to your actual revenue or your sale price for your product. Okay? You got to maintain these things. Because if your Stripe payment, for example, is 5%, we'll just use easy numbers, your 40% margin just went to 35% margin. Right? You lost 12.5% of your actual value of your company just in transaction fees. Brutal. Okay, next thing, frivolous overhead expenses. The unused subscription, the schwanky office chairs, the extra snacks, right? The extra frivolous buys, that extra course that you weren't sure you needed that you're just going to pick up anyway for $197, right? These are all expenses that are nice to haves, but they bleed out your margins, especially the subscription things you do not need. If it does not grow your business or serve the customer, as I say here, sharpen the stake, kill the creature. Okay, and last but not least, and this one is the one that is so guilty for many of us. Okay, reworks, and in my business especially, scope creep. Is anybody familiar with the term scope creep? So you lay out a contract. Over the next 90 days, we're going to do these 5 things for this customer. Okay. But then they add in, oh, hey, can you update my blog for me? Can you put together an email campaign and add that in? Could you just quickly touch up on my PDF here that we did? You have allowed the scope of your contract to creep outside its boundaries. And now it requires something that you said, as Phil was saying, you got to be careful. Okay, this is going to take 20 hours of time. Something was supposed to take 20 hours over the course of the month or 60 hours over the course of 90 days suddenly takes 75 or 80 because you have allowed the scope of the project to creep outside the original sandbox. All of that cuts into profit, you guys. Even if it's just your time, that's time taken away from you marketing. It's time taken away from you in a sales call. It's time taken away from you honoring your contract to a different client. You only get so many minutes. You only get so many minutes. And reworks are the same. Like literally, somebody screws up on a job and you've got to go in, right, and redo the job. You have to pay them by the hour to go in and redo that job. So get it right the first time. These are huge challenges. Huge. Okay. Those are the big dangers in your cash flow, my friends. Big dangers in it. So by a quick show of hands, okay, or just by quickly, any questions about this stuff? Oh, no problem, drink up. That was a lot of information, a lot of info diving in there. Okay. But any questions about it? Was it revealing at all? Did anything pop out of that process for you?
Yes, it's super good to go through that process and remember it, and keep it top of mind. But I just wanted to ask, there was a tool for this exact thing that Colin gave us years back, and it was a cash flow predictor. So say you needed to buy a tractor. You
Yep.
put in the cost of that tractor and you looked at how that would affect you 4 years
Yep.
down the road. Or do you have access to that? Could you share that with us?
I have cash flow predictors of my own.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'll take a look, Shannon. I'll see what
Okay.
I've got that would
Yeah.
be useful. A lot of them are pretty
Super helpful.
customized for what I like
Great.
to look at. So I might have to undo some of those things, but I'll take a look for sure.
Thank you. That'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Uh, I was gonna say even Chat GPT will sit there and say, okay, if you need to make this much, you need to sell this many, and then and then let me give you ideas on how to do that.
Yeah, you betcha. That darn AI assistant. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. That's great, Gigi. Was anything else? Was there anything shocking out of there, you guys? Anything surprising, like you hadn't thought of that before, or something different?
Just the idea that there's these vampires that are going on, like PayPal, Stripe, Square. Um, even when some things are timely paid, there's still a fee on my
Yep.
card or my bank, and there's a fee on the other side, and they imposing that on their expenses, so it adds up pretty quickly if you're forget about even the subscriptions you forgot about or didn't cancel. Oh, I didn't cancel that in 30 days, or something like that. Free trials become expensive.
Do they ever? And that's the whole point, right? That's why they do them.
Yeah,
Right?
that was really good info about the Stripe because I had struggled with that before. And so then I thought, well, I'll add it onto my invoice and say, if paid by credit card, pay 3%, but it's optional. Well, nobody ever paid it. So I was always losing that money and I still am. So I'm like you say, just add what it would be, build it into the price and we're good.
Yeah, pricing transparency on some of that stuff is actually a lethal thing for businesses.
Yeah, in Massachusetts, there's laws that require if you accept like Visa, MasterCard, whoever experts, you cannot charge
Yeah, you're not allowed
for the credit card. Cash and credit cards the same, debit cards the same, but the banks are getting it fees on both ends.
Yeah.
They're not losing a dime. They're making more in every transaction.
Yeah, I would just, if you're selling $1,000 product, just take it to 1,050 if that's what you need to make and move forward. Right?
Yeah.
That's the concept. Or if you're selling normally for $900, take it to 1,000 and just enjoy the extra little bit of revenue and have your fees covered because no one's going to notice. No one's going to care. right? They're just not. We see Starbucks raise their prices every single 6 months. No one cares. My wife just got a venti caramel brulee latte, and I think the damn thing was like $11 almost. It's ridiculous. Anyway, okay. So was that good today, you guys? Got lots of good value out of today. Really good stuff. I know that's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of things to go
Very
through,
good.
but those vampires are so crucial to make sure that you're monitoring them, right? You get to the end of the year, and sometimes those things are like 30 grand, 40 grand worth of vampires sucking out of your business. And it's brutal. That's exactly where all your profit. You go, why am I not getting anywhere? Why can't I get these credit cards fully paid off? Why can't I feel like there's any money in the bank account at the end of the month? Well, it's being sucked dry by all these little things, right? So monitor those things. Crucial in any business. It might not sound like fun, you guys, but the fun comes from the extra money that's in your bank account at the end of the damn year. Trust me. Trust me. All right. So real quick, let's go around the horn and get a quick share from people, and then I will tell you guys what we're going to do with this AI piece. So what was something that popped out of today? Gigi, how about for you?
Uh, that I need to follow my own advice and, write the things down and just say, okay, break them down into smaller pieces so that I don't feel so overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Great advice. Yeah, pat yourself on the back. Phil, how about you?
Lots of good insight. It's lots of small things that add up. Essentially, keeping my focus and blocking the time daily. So in that block of time, I am doing the prioritized task 1, task 2, or task 3, and get it done. Pays off at the end.
Mm-hmm. Love it, buddy. Good, good. Kat, how about yourself?
I did like all the energy vampire, all the little things, because I know in my pet company I've got little discounts for this and that, and my transaction fees are 6%.
Ugh.
And I think I'm losing money on a lot of stuff. So I just hired a bookkeeper last week, so I'm gonna put her to task and figure this shit out.
There you go. Love it.
Hooray!
Do what you do best and outsource the rest. Good.
Yeah,
Well
not
done,
my
Kat.
jam.
Okay, Janine, how about yourself?
I think I need to take the lead in organizing some of those tasks and then having everyone accountable to the timeline.
Okay, cool. Good. Love it. Yep. Yep. Progress is perfection. And Miss Shanna, how about yourself?
Mine was the branding of whether I want to draw people's attention to my price or to my value.
Mm,
No.
yeah. Yeah. That's
I
a
always struggle with that. I always struggle with whether to put up the price. So that helped today. Thank you.
well, remember when you and I sat down together right here at the beach, I also said
Yep.
to you, look, don't ever sell from your wallet,
Yeah. Right.
right? Your
Yeah.
your priorities are different than someone else's. What you think is expensive, they don't think is expensive for that thing, right?
Right. And I am doing like the behind the scenes in my brain work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We all tend to have to. Okay, perfect, you guys. So excellent. Okay, last but not least, two things. So one, Saturday, 9 o'clock until 11, we're going to run our profitable promotions workshop. Okay. So inside that workshop is going to be some tremendous stuff. We will unpack a little bit more of even what we talked about discount wise today. But for a lot of us, the most crucial element is going to be a real concrete walkthrough of my 28-day promotion cycle. And that sort of promotional calendar, which you can take from 28 days to 14, you can take it from 28 days to 56 days. It's just a concept, right? We're going to lay it over 28 days so you can see it. But that particular concept is going to be invaluable to you. So if you can make it on Saturday, please do. We have a bunch of people that have done some referrals for that, which is awesome. So thank you guys so much for that. I'm excited to see a cluster of new people. We've got about 24 seats, 23 seats or so left. So we're over halfway sold, which is awesome. And yeah, so if you know anybody else that you think would really love it, please tag them in the posts. or just send them right to the page to check it out. That's great. And now the AI tool. So you are going to have a brand new training, okay, into your members area on Monday that will explain the new tool, okay? But I'm going to post the new tool this afternoon. So I'm going to do a training that'll be out on Monday, me playing with the tool, but I'm going to post the new tool into the Facebook Messenger group later today. So this new tool, right, the new AI script building tool, it takes into account, as Darinka was talking about, it asks way more questions. Okay, it wants to get to know you and your business and your tone of voice more, right? And the other thing it's going to do is it's going to put every single challenge or problem that you put into it. Write me a script for this challenge. It's going to give you all 4 of the A concepts. So an action script, a anthropological script, a what's the word I'm looking for? A affirmation style script, right? Or and a the sciencey one, the numbers one. Oh my gosh, it's totally dropping out of my brain. But the action script, the anthropological script, the aspirational script, and then the analytical script. It's going to give you 4 scripts every single time. And it's going to ask you whether you want 90 seconds, 4 minutes, or longer. Right? So one of the things we want to remember is that in these short scripts, your job is to deliver some value, right? Give them a quick call to action. In the longer scripts, you can have more fun, right? Enjoy yourself. Do your thing. So, and long form content is a way more powerful tool to generate sales over the course of time. Way more powerful tool. So, that, as I said, that script will go into the Facebook Messenger group chat later today, and you'll have a training on it in the back office on Monday. Is that all cool with everybody? Okay, awesome, everyone.
That is excellent.
Sorry, Shanna, go ahead.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. So I do hope to see you on Saturday. Kat, I will see you later today for our one-on-one. And lots of love from me to you guys. So everybody had a good time today? Yeah, we're all good? All right. Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, you're welcome, you guys. So have a great day. Ciao,
Thanks,
everybody.
Lisa.